That's really good. Well done.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Borough Radio. My name is James McIntosh, and it's just minutes until our first league commentary of the season, where Gosport take on newly promoted Frome Town. Gosport have won all but one of their pre-season games, that one coming to a defeat to Championship side Portsmouth. As for Frome, they have had a similar record, losing just two of their pre-season games, and this is how the visitors line up today. In goal for them, Kyle Phillips, 3 Samuel Hill, 4 Samuel T, 5 Pierce Mitchell, 6 Joseph Budd, 10 Zach Drew, 11 Albert Hopkins, 12 Marcus Day, 14 Warren Maidment, 17 Alexander Monks, and 18 James Olise. And your Gosport lineup today sees Callum Smart starting goal ahead of Max Evans following a suspension at the end of last season. In defence is 4 Walsh Smith, 5 Joe Morrison, 7 Bradley Tarbuck, 8 Asher Yearwood, 10 Dan Rowe, 11 Alfie Stanley, 14 Jake Cope, 18 Richard McIntyre, 19 Danny Hollins, and 20 Cameron Murray. And on the bench today is 9 Dan Wooden, 12 Samuel Fanian, 15 Paul Bessie, and 17 Harry Lee. The teams have just come out. It's Frome in their all-red strip and Gosport in their new yellow strip. Looking good, and I must say, it's going to be a good game day today. Beside me, I've got President of Gosport, Jeremy Fox. Jeremy, you must be buzzing for the new season now.
Can't wait, mate. Can't wait. I'll be with you in a sec, but I can't wait at all.
Well, I'll run through the teams, especially the Gosport one, while they're just finishing their final warm-ups. So in goal for Gosport, it's Callum Smart, 4 Finley Walsh-Smith, 5 Joey Morrison, 7 Bradley Tarbuck, 8 Asher Yearwood, 10 Dan Rowe, 11 Alfie Stanley, 14 Jake Cope, 18 Richard McIntyre, a new signing, 19 Danny Hollins, and 20 Cameron Murray. So it's a nice sunny day here at the AEI Stadium, and what a day we've got to kick off the new season. I spoke to Mark last week about it in the pre-match interview, and I think everyone's excited. All the Gosport fans looking forward to this, and I think it's all because Frome, they're a team where we don't really know what we're going to get. They got promoted last season after winning in the playoff final against Bristol Manor Farm. It was a 3-1 victory, and that ultimately granted them promotion into the Southern League. But they will have a tough test today as they face Gosport, who narrowly missed out on promotion after losing to Salisbury in the semi-final, 2-1. And in my opinion, I'll probably rub on about this all season, but it was like we were robbed. Charlie Vassman got a red card. We gave away a penalty, which didn't look like a penalty, but it's a fresh new season, and yeah, just looking forward to it. The two teams currently in the middle is Danny Hollins, our captain today, in the middle, and their captain today is going to be Samuel Till, so a defender. And then Samuel Till, he's been, well, a veteran for Frome. The 31-year-old, he's been with the club for the last 8 years. He has had stints with Weston-super-Mare and Poulton. And yeah, he's a bit of a non-league veteran. But Jeremy, what can we expect from this Frome town today? Because for me, I don't really know what we're going to expect because they're a newly promoted team. And it's probably the hardest time to play them at the start of the season.
Yeah, they're going to be up for it. And I think, why not? I mean, they've been promoted through the playoffs last season and they've recruited in the summer. And it's look, every team in this division this year is going to pose a challenge, a different kind of challenge. What you're going to have today is a team riding the crest of a wave of a promotion, a feel-good factor, and make no mistake, this is going to be tough today.
And Gosport, they've brought in some new boys. Ashley Yearwood, we've got a lot of them starting, but for me, Ashley Yearwood, he's got to be the pick of the bunch. He's been amazing in pre-season, and it looks like he could tear up this Southern League.
There's a good chance that he will. I mean, he was a standout player for Beaconsfield last season in this division, and I believe did he score against?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was a wonder goal as well. Yeah. 30 yards out.
Yeah. So I think what Joe and Pat have done is they've replaced the players that have left, and they've replaced them shrewdly and cleverly. So
definitely,
I think what we've got now is players that offer us something different to what we had last season, but that I think is no bad thing.
And we are now officially underway for the 2024-25 season. It is Frome Town, the visitors, who are kicking off, but it's already gone back to the Gosport defence as it's Spud currently on the ball as he tries to chip a ball forward, but Finley Walshmith, he hacks one away and it falls to Cameron Murray, but he loses the aerial battle to Elise. And Frome, they're just outside of the box before, I think it was Elise, looked like he just kicked a high ball there, came in contact with Joe Morrison, and as a result, Gosport given a free kick. And Jeremy, you must be excited today, and I think all the Gosport fans are excited. It looks like another good attendance, but pre-season, it couldn't have gone much better. We only lost once. I know they say pre-season, it doesn't count for anything, but it's pretty good only losing to just one, and that being a championship side.
Yeah, I think it all bodes well, and I think pre-season certainly has a purpose. You've got to get the new signings in, you've got to gel, you've got to get some team spirit together, you've got to experiment with tactics, how players fit into systems, and so on and so on and so on. And I think it is perfect for that. Results, give or take, but what we've seen is just an overly positive all-round pre-season that would allow you to have a little bit of confidence going into this season. And I think if you carry that momentum forward, then that's a good thing. So opening days have traditionally been fairly successful for Gosport, so we'll see if that happens again today and that carries on.
Well, Frome, they were given a free kick inside their own half. Now they're currently just outside of the box before Tarbuck on the outside of the boot. He boots one forward. And Gosport, they're doing it well to keep it in play before eventually Maidment, 14 yards away from goal. He wins an aerial battle. And Alfie Stanley, he wins the ball, turns his man, he's through on goal. He's got Ashley Yearwood now arriving to the left of it. Stanley's going to go alone. He takes a shot and it's a good save from Phillips. And Yearwood just can't get on the end of the rebound. Wow, what an opportunity for Gosport early on. Alfie Stanley, he's been incredible. We didn't really see too much of him last season, but this season in pre-season, he's scored already 6 goals, nearly got his first league goal there, Jeremy.
Yeah, what a run. And don't forget, Frome are going to have to adapt to the higher standard, and you've got a player of the quality of Alfie Stanley running at you 30, 40 yards down the pitch with pace. And yeah, that was a really good chance for Gosport to get an early goal.
McIntosh with a throw-in just beside the corner flag. It sees Dutchy Holland. He rises the highest, but he ends up heads in one into the gloves of Phillips in goal. And Phillips, he's another veteran inside this Frome town, 36 years old. So he's got a lot of experience, played over 300 games in the Southern League. And this Frome town, despite being newly promoted, they definitely have got the calibre for this league.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, please don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And Carl Phillips has been around for donkey's years. I remember him playing here with Holton Rovers. And I tell you what, as well as him being an experienced goalkeeper, he's actually a genuinely nice bloke as well. But yeah, he's been around the scene for a long time, and he's perfect to sort of underpin the defence for you.
And there's a lot of other Southern Premier League games going on today. I think for me, the biggest one has to be that AFC Tottenham versus Walton and Hersham. But Gosport, they're back on the attack. It's Jake Cope coming down this left-hand channel. But Phillips does well just to beat him on the edge of the box. He comes out, grapples the ball to make sure Jake Cope can't get on the end of it. And it looks like Jake Cope, he's playing a left mid role rather than playing in that CDM role. Is this a new form of tactic, Jeremy? Obviously, seen a lot of players leave, one of them being Campbell, who would have occupied that position last season. And it looks like he's taking that position now.
Yeah, I think as far as Christian's concerned, we would have done very, very well to hold on to him for another season. A player of his quality deserved to be playing higher and is now playing higher. We would have been honoured to have him back. But yeah, so one player leaves, another player comes in, and yes, you have to adapt the system around the player coming in and the players that have stayed. And I think it's going to be interesting to see over the next 2 to 3 games how Joe and Pat want them to play. I think that's going to be very interesting. And the first clues are being seen now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's been 3 minutes played here. It's still Gosport 0, Frome Town 0. It's Bradley Tarbuck. He tries to control the ball around 40 yards away from the Frome goal. Still inside their half, but he narrowly loses it out. And as a result, Frome will have a throw-in. It's going to be, by the looks of it, Till taking the throw-in on the far side, just by the Harry Mitson stand. Pretty much all the Frome players are currently inside the Gosport half, other than 4. But it's a long throw-in, and Tarbuck can't get on the end of it, but it's good defending there from Joe Morrison as he touches it out. Make sure Elise can't get a run on it. Yes, another throw on the far side. But Frome, they haven't looked out of place so far. Gosport, they've had the best chance, well, early on.
They've had the only chance. But no, I think people have this misconception that newly promoted sides are going to come up and going to struggle. I tell you what, it might take them a game or 2 to find their feet. You've got a team with all the tools here that are going to compete, and I think they'll be more than comfortable.
Well, Drew, he did win a ball, and it found Hill just the left side of the penalty box. The referee blows up, and there will be a Frome corner. And this could be deadly. There's a lot of tall players in this Frome town by the looks of it. But for me, I would imagine the most dangerous one either has to be Hopkins or Day. They are prolific strikers in the league last season. Hopkins got over 20 goals, so maybe looking out for him. But let's see what Frome can do here. Currently, all the Gosport players are inside their own box. And it's a corner, and it's an in-swinger. But I can't meet anyone. There's Dutchy Hollins rises the highest to just head it out there. Cameron Murray, he's still trying to chase it down after Elise, left side of the box. He's going for a shot. He tricks Cameron Murray. He's still going for a shot. Great save by Callum Smart in goal. Just the right boot keeps it out. Day there, he was unlucky not to get the rebound, but Callum Smart, another good save. And for me, it's this goalkeeping debate once again. Who are we going to start, Max Evans or Callum Smart? And for me, probably Callum Smart had the better pre-season.
But isn't that a dilemma you want to have?
Exactly, it's a nice headache.
Last season, we were wholly reliant on one goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, for the last couple of seasons, Gosport have been wholly reliant on one goalkeeper. So it's a good problem to have.
Tarbuck in the right-hand channel, threads the ball through into Dan Rowe, right of the penalty box. Rowe, he's trying to escape danger as he passes back to former Weymouth man, Cameron Murray. Cameron Murray looks up and he's going to pass back into Danny Hollins just outside the central circle. And now a new signing, Richard McIntosh, he's on the ball. He played in that semi-final for Salisbury, so we know exactly what he can do as he plays the ball forward into Jake Cope, just by the Frome dugouts. Finn Mulschmidt. Still, Gosport trying to build up an attack. It's not Callum Smart. It's Alfie Stanley, sorry. By Gosport, they're just playing it around. And honestly, it's nice to see Gosport playing like this. We saw it last season. They're a team they're a slow build-up team, I find, Gosport. They were nicknamed the second half team last season.
Yeah, and it was quite stressful at times, actually, realising that as well. But I think it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how the new arrivals fit in and what the style of play is going to be. I think that's quite intriguing stuff.
6 minutes played here at the AI Stadium. It is Gosport 0, Frome Town 0. Some of the results in the Southern Premier League. AFC Tottenham 0, Walton and Hersham 0, Bracknell 0, Poole Town 0, Chertsey Town 0, Hungerford 0, and Dorchester 0, Harrington Waterlooville 0. And that would be a big game in the Southern Premier League. Swindon 0, Sholing 0, Taunton 0, Gloucester City 0. So the two teams newly to this league, and Wimborne 0, Hanwell 0. But Gosport, they've won a ball just by Pat and Joe. So their dugouts. It's Ashley Yearwood. He runs forward, doing well to skip past the Frome captain. Yearwood still got the ball 20 yards away from goal, just arriving near. But he has to pass back as there's just too many red bodies in front of him. And it's Richard McIntyre back on the ball. And Jeremy, it's only been 10 minutes or so, and we've already had a glimpse of what Yearwood can do. Lovely run there.
100%. And don't forget, it's one chance apiece at either end. So it's actually been a lively opening 10 minutes, hasn't it?
It has.
It's been good to watch. It's been entertaining. And let's hope that continues.
Richard McIntyre on the ball, still in this left back role. So he passes into Ashley Yearwood. He's got 3 players surrounding him, but he was pushed by Till there, and the ref has given a free kick to Gosport. It looks like the Frome manager isn't too happy with that decision, but I don't see why not. It did look like he got pushed in the back, so it deserved a free kick in my opinion.
Early days, don't worry. It's decision given, move on.
Well, the manager of Frome Town is Danny Grease. He did see their relegation, but a lot of financial issues were facing Frome at the time. Did get them promotion last season, so probably a Frome legend now after getting that promotion, taking them back to the promised land.
The thing is, Frome's a big club. They are a solid club. They're a well-established, well-run club. And they always, I think they deserve to be here. Yeah, it was unfortunate the season they went down. I remember it, but what they've done is they've rebuilt, and they've come back.
Well, we know
came
how
up with Wimborne, who are
exactly
another tough nut to crack in this division. I tell you that.
Well, I was going to say, we know how tough it is. We saw Hayes and Yedding go down last season, a massive team, and it can be so hard. Like Southern Leagues, I know we've seen the likes of AFC. Oh, I might have to cut myself off. As Cameron Murray's played a lovely through ball into the right wing, Bradley Tarbuck, right at the penalty area. He's got Dan Rowe arriving to the penalty box, but he passes back to Cameron Murray. Murray looks up. He's going to try and... Oh, no, he's not going to go for the cross as he passes back into Joe Morrison. But we know what Joe Morrison's passing is like from that sort of distance. He can whip in beautiful crosses. But instead it's switched into the other flank into Jake Cope as he passes back into McIntyre. Gosport back inside their own half into Finwell Smith. Back to Joe Morrison inside the central circle. He's got Cameron Murray to the right of him. Dutchy Hollins to the left, but he's going to go alone. He is brought down. I think he tripped on his own there as he tried to play a ball into Asher Yearwood, but Asher Yearwood couldn't get it as Mitchell intercepted it. And now it's Frome. They're back on the attack. It's Hopkins coming down this right-hand channel as he plays the ball into Drew. Drew coming forward. He whips the ball in, but it's easily caught by Callum Smart and goal. A wasteful cross there, but either way, it was a good opportunity for Frome there. Just caught sloppy Gosport play there from Joe Morrison.
Yeah, but players are going to naturally make mistakes. They're human. So, but even if they cost you, then you see the character come out.
Well,
so it happens.
I think it's just because solely we've got such high standards of Joe Morrison. We saw what he was like last season after he joined from Beaconsfield, and he was arguably one of the signings of the season for us, and most likely the Southern League. Got nominated for an award last season, and so did a number of Gosport players. And Jeremy, I bet you're still annoyed after that playoff semi-final. I think the word that probably links best to it is robbed.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say that in the event, isn't it? But anybody who saw the pictures circulating on social media and has seen the video of the game will agree. It was probably one of the worst officiating decisions I've ever seen in my 30-odd years. And I'm not just saying it. It was awful, but I loathe to criticise officials, but that was just too bad. It was too big a mistake for too big a game. And yeah, let's not dwell on it anyway. But it was a horrible way for it all to come to an end.
Well, hopefully we have something to cheer you up as Jake Cope, he's coming forward and he skips past Hill once again. Cope's having a brilliant game as he tries to play a ball. It looked like it was just narrowly going to get to the head of Dan Rowe, just skimmed his head, and as a result, it goes out for the far side. It looked like it might have taken a touch off of Hill there as it skid past Dan Rowe's head. But Gosport, they'll take it any day as it's Bradley Tarbuck. He's got a throw in 10 yards away from that right corner flag. He's got Alfie Stanley running towards him as well as Dan Rowe, and he passes it to Dan Rowe, who passes it instantly back to Tarbuck. Now it's back to Dutchy Hollins. Joe Morrison, he looks up as he plays a through ball into Tarbuck. Tarbuck turns. He's going to play a ball in. It's a low dish ball. Can it find the feet of Yearwood? Oh, that was the perfect ball into Asher Yearwood. First time shot. You know how hard it is to keep it down from that sort of range, but just a bit further out, and that would have been going straight into that top right corner.
Difficult chance for him, actually. He was on the turn and he couldn't quite keep the shot down as it left his boots. So it's a shame, but again, he's the standout player, isn't he?
Definitely.
Absolutely is. Oh, you're tweeting.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we'll have to get back into this habit from last season, won't we, James?
Yeah.
So you tweet, I talk until you're done. So play restarts with a goal kick taken by Carl Phillips. It's gone straight down the middle of the pitch. It's Cam Murray there with the header back forwards for Gosport Borough. Now Gosport just slowly building down the left-hand side with Cope. Cope has a little look, gets robbed of the ball. Now Frome have the chance to counter. This is the number 10 then. This is Zach Drew, just tries to play the ball through, and James Ollis just not able to meet it. I think that's him anyway. And the referee's just let that gone for the throw. You've got to crane your neck in this press box.
Yeah.
Goes on to our
Well, it's just a bit annoying, isn't it? We've got a lot of pillars in the way here at the AI
Who
Stadium.
knew the architects would think about that?
Well, one of the oldest clubs, and we're celebrating our 80th anniversary this year. A big birthday for Gosport.
Yeah, happy birthday to the old girl. Yeah, she's still here, 80 not out.
12 minutes gone here at the AI Stadium. Speaking about it, it's still Gosport 0, Frome Town 0, as it's currently Mitchell on the ball. As he whips in the ball, but it finds the feet of Tarbach, who clears one. Can Dan Rowe chase it? He can't, as it falls back into number 3 of Frome. And Gosport once again trying to escape this danger as Bradley Tarbach. This time he tries to clear it. Dan Rowe can't keep. Oh, it looked like he did narrowly keep it there just for a stint, but he was pushed to the floor by Hopkins there. And Frome once again back on the attack. It's Hopkins. He whips in a ball, trying to catch Callum Smart off guard there, but he could see the cross coming from a mile away. And it looked like it was going to be one of those cross-come shots there.
Which actually, you know what, is it me? Or are we just that little bit too laid back in defence at the moment?
Well, yeah.
Just a little bit too laid back. I think we just need a little bit more urgency. And Frome are finding ways in and around too easily for my liking.
Yeah, it looks like we just can't really build anything at the moment. And every time we do try and build something, Frome just break it down. But I hope I jinx myself here. It's Ashley Yearwood. He looks so promising coming forward. So he passes it into the left midfielder, Jake Cope. He's currently battling James Spud, but he loses it. And it's gone back into Gosport possession through Finley Walsh-Smith. He passes it into fellow centre-back, Joe Morrison. He's hoping to pass it into Dan Rowe, still inside Gosport's own half. Rowe, he's calling for players to come beside him, but he has to pass back into Joe Morrison. And it looks like Gosport players are just not making any space for themselves. They're making it hard early on.
Yeah, and like I said, it just goes. I draw you back to my last observation. I just think they just need to just be a little bit more alert, because I'm just finding that Frome are just probing and they're finding space in and around, and it's quite easy to play the ball in behind us at the moment. So just step that up a little bit.
Morrison, he's currently on the ball. I'd say he's probably been the most influential in this half. Morrison, he's probably had the most touches already, and that really just sums up the first half. As Yearwood plays a lovely through ball into Jake Cope. Jake Cope on the edge of the box. He's going to go for a shot, and that's a brilliant deflection there from Pierce Mitchell. Just stuck himself in front of the ball just to clear it, and that was brilliant defensive work there.
I think he felt it.
Yeah, I think he did.
He felt it. Yeah, he did what he had to do. Body on the line, and fair play to him. Great block.
Well, it looked like Cope's shot there. It was just curling into that bottom right corner. I'm sure it would have caused Phillips some trouble, but he didn't even need to worry about it thanks to brilliant defensive work from Mitchell there. Still, the best shot of this game came on the 5th minute with Alfie Stanley. And really, other than that, nothing really else to talk about early on.
Yeah, a bit of a gilt-edged chance, that one. But I'll tell you what, I think it was a great way to sort of open the season with Alfie making that run down the middle, almost unopposed. And possibly should have done better, but I tell you what, really a bit late.
Well, to be fair, I've been impressed with Jake Cope early on as well.
Yeah,
like I said, we didn't really see him much in that left mid role, but he does look really promising today.
I think he's going to have a real chance to stake his claim this season, because he sort of played half a season, didn't he, last year?
Yeah.
After joining from Sholing. He was more of a sort of a bit part player. This year, I think he's going to be more of a central player, and I think he should revel in that.
Well, currently Frome there on the attack. It's Hopkins trying to skip past Cope, and he does well to pass it back into the right back. And he threads the ball into the box, but it's well dealt with by Cameron Murray. And despite being a short midfielder, he is getting on the end of all these aerial balls. Just shows how smart of a player he is.
I think the reaction to him leaving Paul Town in the summer said it all. Fans were gutted. And you knew you were getting a player.
Well, he helped Weymouth get promotion to the National League, and that's what he's most notable for. Had an excellent campaign, and he told me he's a midfielder that likes to score. Be nice if he got a goal here today. I think he's just scored the one against Petersfield in pre-season so far. But in every game, I have to admit, he's been commanding in that midfield role, and he has looked good. He hasn't looked out of place at all. Just hope we can see a few more goals from him.
Pre-season performances are one thing, but when you really learn about a player is in the cut of thrust of league football,
Mm.
and you're going to start learning about these new signings today, and then from then on.
Definitely. And it's currently Till. He's got a throw in probably 20 yards away from that corner flag as he passes forward into Drew. Drew puts the ball in. Can it find the head of Hopkins? It can't, but it's been headed out. Maidment's put it back into the danger zone. But Callum Smart, he's going to come out of his, I don't know what box that is, the 12-yard box. And Callum Smart, I don't think he's looked out of place either today.
No, he's what he's had to do, he's done well. And and going back to the goalkeeper battle, if you like, should be interesting. But it's going to be good though, because if you have an injury or a suspension, you're not going to have to go and dip your foot into the loan market.
17 minutes played here. Still Gosport 0, Frome Town 0. And in all the other Southern Premier League results, we still haven't seen a goal yet today. We saw a couple at Elland Road where our local team, Portsmouth, took on Leeds. That's probably been the most exciting game today. Oh, no, never mind. I have had some goals come through. Dorchester 1, Havant and Waterloo 1. So Dorchester, they're putting up a good fight today against newly relegated Havant Waterloo. And Taunton, they're leading 2-0 against Gloucester City. And Taunton, they're another team who's going to be looking for that promotion this season.
Yeah, they're going to want to bounce back. They came down from the Conference South, the National League South last season. And I think the problem is they had so many games to play in a short space of time due to their pitch. It counted against them in the end. As for Dorchester, well, they've invested heavily in their squad this summer.
Oh, Stanley's whipped in a lovely ball into Downrow. Downrow throw on goal. He tries to put it into that bottom right corner. Looked like Phillips just stretched just enough there to get a foot on it to divert it wide. But Downrow, I mean, to be fair, he couldn't have asked for a much better pass there, and maybe should be doing better from that position.
But you've got to give credit to the goalkeeper there. Carl
Lovely
Phillips,
save.
All of his experience just stood up to him, stuck it out, and prevented a certain goal.
Well, we have got a corner here, and we know how dangerous Gosport can be from corners. Joe Morrison definitely got a few goals from corners, but currently there is an injury inside Gosport's own half, and that's not good news for Gosport, as it's Richard McIntosh, our new signing, on the floor. And Richard, he's not even injury prone, only 18 years old, so a few years older than me. But you wouldn't really expect him to be getting the injuries out of all the other players we've got on the field.
The trouble is, he is a youngster, and this is a very physical league. And it doesn't matter who you play, it's a physical league, and you can easily pick up a knock.
Well, he's been given a new pair of socks. I'm not sure how much that's going to help him. But the good thing is with Gosport, we do have some good players on the bench. So we recently signed Harry Lee, who we know that can play that position. We got some other defenders, Paul Agbesi, another good player in pre-season. And honestly, I'm a bit surprised we haven't seen him today in the starting 11.
Well, I think you'll see him later. With the rule change, you can now use 5 and 5 subs. So commentators, Tannoy announcers nightmare, because instead of doing 6 sub announcements, I might have to do 10. But there it is. Those are the rules. So there's every chance you'll see him later on.
Well, Tarbach, he puts his hand up for the corner. He's got players driving. It falls. Oh, it looked like it was going to fall nicely to Dutchy Hollins, but a diving header from Maidment just kept it out. But it's falling back to Tarbach just in this right-hand channel, 20 yards away from goal. He did try and whip in a ball, but took a deflection from Hill, which sees it go out for a Gosport throw-in. There wasn't bad corner there. It looked like it was aiming towards that near post, trying to find Dutchy Hollins. But once again, it's good defensive work from Till. And Till and Mitchell, they're forming a great defensive back at the moment.
Well, you do see that teams are a lot more organised for set pieces now at this level. I've seen it more and more over the last few seasons where every team you play is getting better organised to defend against set pieces like that. So it just means you need to come up with something better. And so I'll give Frome the credit.
McIntyre with a long throw, and he tries to find Dutchy Hollins once again, and it does find Dutchy Hollins. Dutchy Hollins right of that. It looked like he was trying to fire in a ball, but I did find the head of Hill there, and it's gone out for Gosport. Gosport still keeping it under control, as it's Cameron Murray, 20 yards away from goal, trying to thread a ball into injured Richard McIntyre, who's carried on playing. Doesn't look too serious of an injury, and probably just cramp, I would imagine, that one. Nothing too serious, luckily. But Gosport, I mean, like I said, we've only seen that one concrete chance for the new listeners from Alfie Stanley. But Frome, they do have a throw in. Yeah, go on then. Yeah. I think it's from not being used to doing the commentary. I haven't done the commentary since the Pompey game. And then Hollins, he whips in a ball. It finds the head of Asher Yearwood, and it's been touched down by Alfie Stanley. Stanley loses the ball to Frome's Till. and it's been chucked forward once again by Till, but it finds the body of Joe Morrison, who touches it down, but it's gone back to Frome possession. Frome just outside of the Gosport box. It's James Ollis. He whips in a deep ball. Can it find the feet of Hopkins arriving at the back post? It can't. Just narrowly outpace the striker. I'm not sure if Callum Smart would have been beaten there, but it did look like he was in good range to just tap that home, Hopkins.
I think what it tells you is that Frome is still doing a bit more damage than Joe and Pat would like, and that will concern them. But Callum is actually more experienced than people give him credit
Yeah.
for, to be fair.
Well, he was with Fleet Town last season.
Yes, and he's been with other teams as well. So he may be a young goalkeeper, but he's got a lot of minutes behind him over the last 2 or 3 years.
Well, like I said, it's going to be interesting, that goalkeeping debate going forward. But yeah, Callum Smart, he's been one of the better players, definitely, of this half. Still 20 minutes gone. It's still Gosport 0, Frome Town 0. Probably hasn't been the most entertaining half. We've learned a lot about the new players, to be fair, seen all their new positions and everything. But yeah, hasn't really been too many concrete chances. And I'm sure all the Gosport fans are going to want something. But hopefully it doesn't fall to Frome Town, as it was Mitchell there. He tried to lay across into Hopkins once again, and Callum Smart just arriving there again.
Yeah, fairly routine stuff there at the back for Gosport. Yeah, now they have a chance to build again. Gosport, don't they? And Morrison's instrumental in playing out from the back.
But I'll run you through some of the other Summer League results, because it doesn't look like we're building too many chances at the moment. Still, AFC Tottenham 0, Walton and Hersham 0. You would probably expect AFC Tottenham to be leading in that game, maybe get a win. Obviously brought in Premier League striker Charlie Austin. That's a massive one for them. Chertsey, they're now 1-0 up against Hungerford. I'm going to cut off as Gosport. They did play a ball. It was Richard McIntyre there, just playing a through ball into Jake Cope, but Jake Cope just went too early there. Saw side flag go up. Gives me a chance to run through the rest of the result. Well, not results, scores. Taunton, they're also 2-0 up against Gloucester. And there has been a goal in the Scottish Premiership. I've just seen that come up. Rangers 2, Motherwell 1. Obviously, their league's kicked off today. The Championship's back today. We've got all football returning. Premier League next week. I was saying earlier in the broadcast, but for all the new people coming in, there was a 6-goal thriller at Ellen Road where Portsmouth took on Leeds. Portsmouth, they were leading for a lot of that game, letting a very late goal. I think it was Jeremy who jinxed it.
I do blame myself for that, because I just announced it because I wanted to spread the good news that they were on the cusp of winning 3-2, and then I literally saw on my phone the equaliser go in.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay then.
Well, Ashley Yearwood, he was just tripped there, just outside of Pat and Joe's dugout. They didn't seem too happy. Pat's currently talking to the third official.
It's nothing to get overexcited about. It happened, move on. But yeah, it was a little bit clumsy from the player concerned. That's it.
By Joe Morrison, he's still on the ball just inside Gosport's half. So he plays it right into Dan Rowe. Dan Rowe. Oh, thank you. And Philly Will Smith, the young defender, had a lot of links with Nottingham Forest in the past, and some Premier League teams still playing for Gosport though, as he passes it into Danny Hollins. He chips the ball forward, trying to find Alfie Stanley, but his height doesn't favour him, as still he hits one forward. Falls back to Joe Morrison, once again inside his own half. And that's the problem with having a short striker. Yes, Alfie Stanley's brilliant with his feet, but aerial balls, he's not going to be winning any of them. And that is the one issue where we saw Rafa, he loved it, getting those aerial balls. And it looks like we're still trying to go for those aerial balls, but it's just not thriving.
Don't you, to when you've got players that aren't sort of as versatile in that situation, you adapt your tactics. And I think those big target men strikers are becoming almost an endangered species. They are out there, but I think trouble is teams are getting better organised and better suited to playing against that kind of a threat. So you're seeing a lot more football played in on the ground now. Set pieces, more, how can I say, what is the word I want to use? They're being used more cannily, in a much more clever way. So rather than just lumping it into the mixer now, looking for your big 6-foot target man, you can see that teams are being more diverse with their set pieces.
Well, I suppose the game's become a lot more tactical over the last few years. It was probably came from all the way up into the top. Pep Guardiola, I heard a lot of non-league managers, they use the tactics, and it just shows how diverse, well, all the leagues are becoming, using those sorts of tactics.
Things filter down from the top, don't they? Whether it be tactics or any other sort of facet of the game, things do filter down through the divisions.
Well, someone else who is filtering down this left-hand channel was Jake Cope as he passes into Ashley Yearwood. He backheels it into Cameron Murray. Cameron Murray goes for a shot just outside of the D. Whips one just high of that top right corner. What a beautiful goal that would have been if Cameron Murray just saw that goal glisten into that top right corner. Lovely work from Ashley Yearwood and Jake Cope once again forming a great combination.
Good move, and unlucky there, Cam Murray. Just bent off his foot, didn't it? Just sort of bent around and just over the bar. Yeah, it was unlucky. A good chance that.
Oh, definitely.
But so James.
Yeah.
So this is a little habit we got into last year when he was tweeting. I helped him out. So goal kick then has been taken long, straight down the centre of the pitch. Joe Morrison with a header away. The piece is being picked up by Brad Tarbuck, one of last year's old stagers. Cam Murray now takes over in the centre circle, and the ball just being played from right to left. McIntosh to Cope. Cope now just trying to get Yearwood away with a flick pass to the outside of his boot. But Frome have possession now. Gosport just having to break up what would have otherwise been, I think, quite a successful counter-attack from the visitors here. And Gosport have to build again. So Morrison, as he's done repeatedly in this first sort of 28 minutes we've played here, just playing out from the back. Now, in the time it's taken me to say that, Frome have countered that, and Gosport countered their attempts to move forward. So it's a little bit like in chess, isn't it? Each move is being countered and neutralised. But 0-0 here anyway, with half-hour mark approaching. And over to you.
Well, yeah, definitely. That's the best way to describe it so far. I would say this game actually sums out quite nicely, a game of chess. Just once one team goes, Frome come back. It's very, very equilibrium, I'm going to say. Big fancy word, but Bradley Tarbuck, he's right at the box, trying to whip one in towards the near post, trying to find the head of Dan Rowe, but instead finds Mitchell once again. He's been winning every aerial ball this game. This is where we could do with some of Sky Sports, just stats, data. Be interesting to see, but I'm pretty sure he's won every aerial ball so far.
Well, there's a good chance, but I think going back to the playoff semi-final at Salisbury, we're talking about a tactical game of chess, a football game of chess. That was exactly it, with the two teams just trying to outmaneuver each other throughout the game. And that was a good example of that. Now let's see what Gosport can do here.
Still, Gosport 0, Frometown 0. Gosport currently got a corner. It's going to be taken by Bradley Tarbuck, who whips one just outside. It's not going to find Joe Morrison, as instead it's Bud who arrives just to clear it, only as far as Cameron Murray. Tarbuck, he wins back the ball in this right-hand flank as he passes back into Jake Cope. Cope just outside the central circle. He's got the Frome front forward trying to win back the ball, but he does well to pass it back into McIntyre. Now Dutchy Hollins in this left-hand channel. He's got Cope arriving on the overlap, but he passes forward into Asher Yearwood. Now it is passed into Jake Cope. Will Jake Cope go for a cross? He won't, as he goes for a short pass into Asher Yearwood, the new signing. He scored some lovely goals. Can he get another one here? By Southie Stanley, just outside of the D. He turns his man, going for a shot, spilled by Phillips, and Asher Yearwood just can't get on the end of that. I mean, once again, it's a good shot from Stanley. He's taking all the shots and just unlucky Yearwood. He's getting into the good positions, just unlucky with a rebound there. Good keeping from Phillips.
And again, you have to give credit to Carl Phillips. And time again this afternoon, he's showing his experience and showing that he's going to be an absolute asset for Frome in this division this year.
Well, once again, I'm going to credit Stanley. I mean, a lot of the times last season, it was almost like we were perfectionists. We were trying to carve out that perfect attack. Stanley, he's going for it. He is taking shots, and it's nice to see. Definitely from the neutrals and commentators' point of view, at least, anyway.
Yeah, and I think Alfie's been lively this afternoon.
He has.
And, I'm beginning to ask the question, why hasn't this game had a goal yet?
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's been, I would say, he's pretty much been linked in all of them, Alfie Stanley.
Yeah.
That just really says it.
They've had a couple of chances down that end, and I think this game needs a goal now.
Well, it was Joe Morrison there. He brought Drew to the floor, and Frome have been given a free kick. It was taken early. The referee not happy with that. Would have definitely caught Gosport off guard there, as it did look like Hopkins left of the penalty box. He was free in space, but the referee has pulled it back for that free kick. I mean, it was only right for him to do that.
Absolutely, but I think what Gosport have to do now is get organised, be aware of what Frome are going to try and deliver, and just be ready, be wary.
Well, Frome, they've got a free kick, probably 5 yards away from the halfway line. Maidman, he did run to it, but he's going to leave it for his defender Hill to take. I mean, this could be dangerous here. All the Frome players. They're currently outside of the box. They're all going to sprint into that box. Going to cause Callum Smart. Yeah, that is one. Yeah.
That's what that's all about. Needs to be a good delivery.
Well, it is a high offside line, but it's a poor delivery. It's going to find the head of Joe Morrison, who thumps one away. Alfie Stanley, he's chasing it down, but this time it's true. He hacks one away. Asher Yearwood, he tries to win the aerial battle, but it trickles all the way back into Joe Morrison in defence. Gives Gosport a time to just reform, get into a better formation and try and rework another attack. As it's Richard McIntosh, he's on the ball just outside of Pat and Joey's dugouts. And I wonder what Pat and Joe have been thinking early on. I probably wouldn't change anything if we were to go into the second half goalless. Hasn't been anything wrong, but
I think
maybe just fresh legs.
The game still needs to settle down. We've played 32 minutes here. It hasn't. It's been hectic. There's been chances, but the game still needs to settle down just a little bit. So if you're going to change something, I'll rephrase that. Why would you change something at this point?
Well, it's Dutchy Hollins. He tries to play a loft ball into Alfie Stanley. He just can't get on the end of it as Mitchell once again clears it. Now it's gone all the way back into Hopkins as he wins the ball. He does well there. James Olis, he loses the ball into Joe Morrison there. Joe Morrison goes heavy to Hill. I'm surprised that's not a foul, maybe even a yellow card. Maybe the referee didn't catch a proper view of that, but it did look like Joe Morrison went in heavy there, studs first.
Needs to be careful. That on another day could get him into real trouble.
Well, I'm pretty sure he got 2 red cards last season, Joe Morrison. Yeah. So, definitely needs to be careful. And he's a key man of our defence. I mean, at least we do have Paul Agbessi now who can also work there. Yeah, so we've got more cover.
When you think that we've got Charlie Wassmer suspended, okay, and he's the defensive linchpin, don't go in studs first. Please, just be a little bit more subtle and clever than that.
Well, what I have found interesting, sitting just beside us, not in the press box, is Harry Medway. I wonder if we could see him back this season.
Yeah, he had a really nasty injury, didn't he? I think it was just before or
just after Christmas. Yeah.
I don't remember which.
I'm pretty sure it was Winchester he sustained it.
Yeah, I think that does ring a bell. And it's taken. Sometimes you can have an injury and it's a hell of a long way back.
Yeah, well, it's a shame. He was one of our star defenders last season as well. And really, that might have been one of the things that cost us the league in the end, those injury crises. But Chesham, they did run away with it in the end. So fair play to Chesham.
Oh, there was no stopping them.
No, definitely not. I mean, their striker, Ricardo German, what a player he was.
And he's gone now.
Exactly, to Hemel Hempstead. Yeah. Well, Cameron Murray there, he did try and chip a ball forwards into Dan Rowe. Haven't seen too much of Dan Rowe this half. It did look like he was making a good run there. Pretty sure he would have been offside regardless, so it wasn't one for Phillips to worry about. But Dan Rowe, I mean, I thought we would have seen a lot more of him. He's currently using this right wing position, but no, we haven't really seen too much of him, our new striker.
Game one.
Yeah.
Game one. It's give it a chance. I think. Yeah, I mean, don't forget, pre-season's good for getting an idea of how you want to play, but until you try it out in the Cup Trust of League football, it'll either work or it isn't going to work, and then you'll change something, you might tweak it, and then that tweak might just put a player into a far more comfortable position. Yeah. I'm not saying he's not now, but I'm just saying there's still a lot of tinkering to do.
Well, Dan Rowe, he did play for Basingstoke last season. He even got 2 goals against us, annoyingly, so that cost us 3 points. But he reached double digits in the goal scoring records last season, so he's definitely got the calibre to do it. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him on the goal sheet today. But Asher Yearwood, he's won a ball left of the penalty box. He's currently trying to get past Hill. He's going to go for a low dish shot. Once again, Mitchell, he sticks out a boot, which sees it not properly dealt with from the danger zone. But Yearwood, he plays the ball back into Cameron Murray. Originally, it looked like it was going to Jake Cope, but he couldn't control it, so it did fizzle its way back into Murray. But now Danny Hollins, he's just left. Oh, he was trying to pass the ball into Alfie Stanley there. He was in a good position, but couldn't keep hold of the ball. And then Frome, a ball was launched forward. It looked like Ollis. He could have got onto the end of it there. But Joe Morrison doing his defensive work, getting back well, recovering the ball, and doing well there. But Gosport, they're currently trying to build another attack as Bradley Tarbuck once again plays a through ball into Asher Yearwood. Yearwood leaves it for Cope. Cope in this left-hand channel plays it into Yearwood. Yearwood is brought down by Till. I mean, to me, that looked like a concrete foul there on the edge of the box. It looked like he just purposely tripped him up. Not sure how the referee hasn't given that.
The referee obviously satisfied there was nothing doing there, but certainly went down by the South Spuds, didn't it?
Definitely.
Anyway, we move on. I digress. And Gosport back on defensive duties.
Well, it's Cameron Murray. He's on the ball. He's charging forward. We know what he's like. He's very fast when he wants to be Cameron Murray. But he's going to lay one into the right-hand channel into Bradley Tarbuck as he has to pass back into Joe Morrison. And currently, I'm just trying to do a bit of analysis here. It looks like Frome, they've restructured their lineup. I'm not sure if the manager would have said something to them, maybe to start, fizzling it down. But Frome, I would have said they had the better 10 minutes, and ever since, it's been all gospel.
Yeah, they've had a good spell. And don't forget, as a manager, you're always going to be looking to change something that isn't quite working. You see something working out there, you get a message out and you change it. If it still doesn't work for you, then you'll make a substitution and you'll put another player on and try and make it work for you. So it's not uncommon. You'll see lots of little tactical switches, and here we go.
Well, currently it's Dan Rowe right at the penalty box. He tries to thread a ball into Alfie Stanley. It was cleared away by Till there. And there is currently a Frome player on the floor, but play is going to play on. And now another player's gone down. This time it's Hopkins who's gone down the central circle. But still, play is carrying on. This referee is not taking any of their rubbish. It's Cameron Murray.
He's letting a lot go, the referee, but he's happy to let the game flow a bit. I mean, to be fair, you can just go down. There is contact with another player without it being a foul, and you just go down. That was a foul.
I was going to say.
But that said, sometimes two players can just hit, and the momentum just knocks one down.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's just how much one player weighs compared to another. I mean, if you look at Alfie Stanley compared to Till, he's obviously going to go down if they clash.
I'll tell you what, that's actually one of the most interesting duels out there today.
Oh, yeah.
Stanley against...
Well, the whole back four, really.
That's it. Can't see the player's number out there, but they're having a cracking little battle out there.
Well, Frome, they have been given a free kick literally on the edge of the central circle. 10 minutes left to play here at the AI Stadium. It is still goalless, and I will update you on some of the scores after this free kick has been taken. Phillips launches the ball forward, and that is a horrible free kick. Gone out of play, couldn't reach any Frome players, and Phillips, he's going to be annoyed with that. But it gives me a chance at least to run you through the Southern Premier League results, scores. AFC Tottenham, they are 1-0 up now against Walton and Hersham, and you do have to wonder, is that Charlie Austin, the former Premier League man, on the score sheet? I do wonder. We'll be checking that at half time. Yeah, probably is, yeah. I mean, he has scored some crackers for Gosport. Shame we lost him. Bracknell Town, they're currently goalless against Poole. Chertsey, they're 1-0 up against Hungerford. Dorchester 1, Hampton Waterlooville 1. Still goalless here, obviously. Marlow 0, Winchester 0. Merthyr 1, Tiverton 0. Plymouth Parkway 1, Basingstoke 0. And Taunton 3, Gloucester City 0. So that's definitely the biggest one. Gloucester not having a good start to their new campaign. But it's currently Day who's on the ball in this right-hand channel. Richard McIntosh doing well in that left-back role, getting back, covering, and doing well just to stop the attack there. I think Jeremy's just trying to find who scored for AFC Tottenham. Will be interesting to see.
Just keeping on the game for me.
Well, Frome, they have been given what looks like a free kick. I can't no, it's either... Is that a free kick or a corner? Oh, it's a throw. That's fair. I can't see anything with this pillar in the way.
That's the trouble. You've got to crane your neck. It's just the angle you're having to look at from the press box.
Well, it is a deep throw, and it's found the head of Mitchell, who heads it back. And it's number 17, Monks there, who launches one over the crossbar. Had all the time in the world, but yeah, he did take it on the first time volley. He launched one over the bar. And maybe should be doing a better opportunity there, considering that sort of range. If he would have just kept that down there, yeah, I could imagine it would have gone in. And as a result, Gospel given a goal kick, and I think Jeremy might have just found who's done it.
Marcus Dawes.
Marcus Dawes, oh wow. I mean, he was a good player last season, wasn't he, in the Southern Premier League? So that doesn't really come to much surprise, but yeah. Shame it wasn't Harvey Rue.
Well, I thought that would have been the irony, the irony of it, but there you go.
I think still he scored my favourite goal last season with AFC Portchester. Lovely goal from the free kick. Goals of the season for me. But Gosport, they hope to get a goal today. Still goalless here at the AI Stadium as Jake Cope, he's in the middle of the Frome half. He loses the ball, and a ball has been lifted forward, and it's gone all the way back into Finley Smith, back into defence. Joe Morrison, he's on the ball currently. He scored some good goals as well last season. And that's the thing with all of these players. At this level, each player does have a story. I mean, even Dutchie Hollins as well. He's been a brilliant veteran. That's what makes Southern League so interesting and the whole of non-league now. I mean, it just shows how good all the leagues are getting.
Took a little while for him to sort of re-sign this summer, so it made a few of our fans a little bit sort of twitchy, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But there again, it's you've got to be right. If you're making a commitment for a season, it's got to be right. So.
Oh, it's going to be that man we were just talking about, Dutchie on the free kick here, just in the middle of the Frome half. He's got players currently running in front of him, Joe Morrison being one of them, but he looks like he's going to take the free kick short into Richard McIntyre, back into Dutchy Hollins. Hollins has to pass back into Finley Walsh-Smith inside his own central circle. He looks up. Looks like the Frome forward there, Hopkins, dropped something. I think it might have been his wristband there. So I don't think that's going to cost him too much. But yeah, that came off him either way.
3083. Good spot.
Gosport, they're still trying to win the ball back, but Frome, they're withholding heavy pressure here.
Not me.
And now it's gone back into the Frome half, and that's a lovely ball from Drew. And Drew's currently trying to chase it down. Finley Walsh-Smith wins that pace battle. Unlucky not to get to it, Drew, there. He's still applying that heavy pressure to Callum Smart, but he wasn't going to force a mistake from the goalkeeper there. Still Gosport 0, Frome Town 0. I mean, Jeremy, we keep alluding to it, but the best chance in this game has come from Alfie Stanley. He's had 2 good opportunities within this first half. Surprised he hasn't got on the goal sheet yet, Alfie Stanley. Scored 6 in pre-season so far. But yeah, he's definitely been the man of the half so far. No, thank you. But Daichi Holland, we're just doing food orders. It's pretty much just about to wrap up the half. 3 minutes left to play of normal time. And Frome, they're back on the attack. It was Drew there who was brought down inside the Gosport half. There's 2 players on the floor there. Yeah. Bud and Drew.
I missed all of that, so decent summariser that makes me. But and also we got Heather right in my line of sight. But no excuse. But yeah, what it does allow you to do with about a minute of normal time left, and that's a booking there.
Yeah.
For Brad Tarbuck, I believe.
That's the first booking of the game, so he's going to have to be careful now for the rest of it.
Given the way the referees let a lot go, and he's been quite relaxed, I think that was genuinely deserved.
Yeah. Well, he just fully bullied him. I felt a bit bad for him, but sometimes it's just, he just ran into him. It just looked like another collision. Reckless from Tarbuck, don't get me wrong. But I'm sure there was nothing malicious there. There was no reason to be malicious there.
Exactly.
It's not exactly in a great attacking position, around 10 yards away from the halfway line. Frome will be given a free kick, though. I'll run you through some of the Southern League scores while there's currently a stoppage in play.
Waiting for the ball.
Yeah, really are.
How much stoppage time is going on?
Well, I would imagine we'd be getting a lot of half-time results ringing around now.
Yeah.
Well, AFC Totten, like I said, they're still 1-0 up against Walton and Hersham. Bracknell Town 0, Poole Town 0. Churchley Town, they've now 2-0 up against Hungerford Town. Hungerford Town, they didn't really hit the ground running last season. I thought they might have been a bit better this season, but no, clearly not. Dorchester won, Havant and Waterlooville won. So there'll be another team looking for a promotion this season, Havant and Waterlooville, and we'll be hoping to get that win. Still goalless here at the AI Stadium. Marlow 0, Winchester 0, Merthyr Town 2, Tiverton 0, Plymouth Parkway 1, Basingstoke 0, and Swindon 1, Sholing 0.
1 minute of added time. 1 minute.
That's deserved, isn't it? 1 minute.
Yeah,
really hasn't been any stoppages.
There hasn't been much going on as there, and the game's flowed really nicely.
And the free kick has been taken. It narrowly missed Hopkins, but a good foot from, I think it was Jake Cope there. I missed it because I was tweeting. But good defensive work there from Gosport either way.
Yeah, and I think it's been a lively half. I think Frome have done themselves more than justice, and I think Gosport will actually probably be more disappointed to come
up. I think
summarising this first half, I think Frome will be the happier.
Jeremy?
Yeah, got that, Tom. Thank you.
Well,
but so half time imminent now.
Well, don't get me wrong. Frome Town, they've definitely withheld, I would say, a lot of their possession compared to Gosport. But we have made our chances. Well, we haven't made the chances count, but the chances we have been participating in, they have all been good. Can Gosport work one more attack? I would imagine it's going to be very unlikely.
I think that's about it now. We've had the minute plus some. So I'm stopping the watch now.
Finley Walsh-Smith, he's still coming forward as Jake Cope lays one back into Alfie Stanley. It's been intercepted as another Frome play. He's being pushed to the floor. But Frome, they're back on the attack. It's 18 in this right-hand channel, currently battling against Finley Walsh-Smith. Walsh-Smith goes sliding in and does well enough. It would have been, no, he's pulled back for another foul. And it will be a yellow card given to Alfie Stanley. And the referee will let this one corner stay because Frome, that Finley Walsh-Smith slide-in challenge, did go out for a Frome corner. Can they make this count? If they get a goal here, I would imagine Pat and Joe, they will not be too happy.
No, they won't be impressed at all. And but then again, on the balance of play, We'll see.
Every player, Frome, they're all in Gosport's half. It's been hit in. Can it be caught by Callum Smart? It's been punched away. Joe Morrison's going to get on the end of that clearance as he hoosts one away. And it is half time here at the AEI Stadium. It is Gosport 0, Frome Town 0. I'll run you through some of the other results in the Southern Premier League, but really hasn't been too much talking points within that half. I mean, Alfie Stanley, he's had some decent opportunities. Gosport unlucky not to get on the goal sheet, but like Jeremy was saying, Frome Town would probably be the happier with that half, withholding most of their possession, and they have looked good, the newly promoted team. Hopefully we get some goals in the second half. Some of the halftime scores in the Southern Premier League: AFC Tottenham 1, Walton and Hersham 0, Bracknell 0, Pooltown 0, Chertsey 2, Hungerford 0, Dorchester 1, Hampton Waterloo 1. It's finished here half time 0-0. Marlow 0, Winchester 0, Merthyr 2, Tiverton 0, Plymouth 1, Basingstoke 0, Swindon Supermarine 1, and Sholin 0, Taunton 3, Gloucester 0, and Wimborne 0, Hanwell 0. So I would say the big scoreline has to be that Taunton game there against Gloucester. I wasn't expecting 3-0, but yeah, Taunton, they'd definitely be happy against that. We'll return back into the second half, but it's Gosport 0, Frome Town 0. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second half commentary where Gosport are taking on Frome Town. Gosport are just about to kick off in the second half. I'll run you through the teams before we get underway. So, for Frome Town, it's Kyle Phillips in goal, 3 Samuel Hill, 4 Samuel Till, 5 Pierce Mitchell, 6 Joseph Budd, 10 Zachary Drew, 11 Albert Hopkins, 12 Marcus Day, 14 Warren Maidment, 17 Alexander Monks, and 18 James Olise. Your Gosport lineup today, that is 13 in goal, Callum Smart, 4 Finley Walsh-Smith, 5 Joe Morrison, 7 Bradley Tarbuck, 8 Asher Yearwood, 10 Dan Rowe, 11 Alfie Stanley, 14 Jake Cope, 18 Richard McIntyre, 19 Danny Hollins, and 20 Cameron Murray. And it was Gosport who kicked off in that second half. Currently, Gosport are on the ball in this right-hand flank. Bradley Tarbuck, he plays the ball into the other Dan Rowe. And Gosport immediately starting this second half on the attack.
Have you got a watch on it? Yeah.
Oh, Jerry, I think it automatically has a little watch here on this app.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, chatting to
But yeah, so Gosport, they're already on looking for the goal. A poor frame from Frome sees Morrison intercepted. Now it's Alfie Stanley coming forward on the edge of the box. He goes for a shot and it's just high of the crossbar once again. Stanley in great position. And like I said in the first half, he is taking these opportunities to shoot and he's not missing by much. He's easily been the man of the match for me so far.
There's a little bit of symmetry there because he did much the same thing the first couple of minutes of the first half, didn't he?
Definitely.
He said it wasn't a shot over the top, but you get what I'm saying. So, yeah, I mean, this game just needs a goal. It's crying out for a goal.
Definitely.
And let's hope we see one soon. You are too.
I think I'm doing the tweets again.
Oh dear, right, well, okay. I'll
Well, that is the one issue we have at Gosport, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's fine, no problem. It's not my first rodeo, so it's fine. Right, not a lot going on out there at the moment, so it allows me to talk utter nonsense for 20 seconds. But throw in for Gosport on the far side in front of that Harry misses stand, which Cope's going to take. No, he's changed his mind. I think McIntosh